I hate the most is when you don't want the ball. I hate it. You have permission to make a mistake. You have permission to lose. You have permission.
And that's when we get big.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Attack everyone and send everyone.
I think we're forgetting the most important thing. We're forgetting about focusing just on ourselves.
But we can do better. We need to take the next step, and there's no better place than taking the next step here.
Show ourselves out there how much we want to win it again.
We win 4 of the last 5 Premier League, guys. 4 of the last 5 Premier League. Are we going to do it again?
Don't ask me again about doubles, triples, quadruples, fifthuples, sextuples, and seventuples. So
Don't do it, y'all. You know, I am tired of coming in hot. I wanted to relax. I wanted to enjoy myself, especially after 2 losses. This is just way too much coming in hot. I wasn't ready for a monologue, so you guys got the intro. Hey, don't worry, I'm here. I'm here. Don't have cream chocolate for nothing. Sipping on some white wine in a coffee mug. We out here. Hey, welcome to episode 70 of Shades of Blue. We are the most comprehensive Manchester City podcast covering both the men's and women's games, spanning from the Atlantic Ocean to the Rocky Mountains. We're making art over here. Capitalize the A. My name is Crumb Chocolate. I am with Tom Baum and Tarek. How's it going, show bros?
You know, WSL season just kicked off this weekend, and we had some banger results. So I've been trying to do better about focusing on the positive. So after the results that City men have been giving me, I'm gonna try and focus more on the women right now.
We'll get into it, but I truly was just like, please just draw, just win. I need some positive vibes. I need it. Obviously, you want them to win because it's the first match of the season, but I really just needed it because Manchester City football needed some wins. Yeah, needed that. It was just important.
Yeah, I gotta get. We need something to go our way.
X. And Sharpie, we miss you. He's not here. Just wanted to let y'all know in case you're just like, where's the absence of his voice, of his substance? Miss you, homie. What I need you to do right now, if you are watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up for us. Show some love. Leave a comment on what you thought on the episode. Maybe retort to something one of us said. Let's say you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those podcast streaming services that allows you to rate and or review. How about you give us that 5-star rating? Please and thank you. Or what's the point? 5 stars, please. If you give us a review, I'll read it out loud. If you want to, you can even put in the review. Please don't read this out loud. I'm just giving this to you for love. They can just say Shady Gang. They can just say, I like totals. I don't really care what it says. Just leave a review. It does positive things to the algorithm. In today's episode, we're going to start with Blue Baddies. Winners eat over here. We start with them. Despite a ridiculous red card, they overcame. Haters hate, but greatness is great. We out here. Baby Blue Baddies. We start with them. Then we go to the matches that have been played. I'm going to have some more conversational parts to these matches because there's no need to go, in the 13th minute, we missed this chance. And then in the 17th minute, we missed this chance. And then in the 23rd minute, we missed this chance. It just was exhausting. Third, and then shock calls and applause. We'll look at the league, other people winning. We're still on top, baby. We're still on top. I guess we'll hold on to that. We're still on top. But let's get to our baddies.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry.
What are those baby Blue Baddies doing to
Getting
him?
3 points on the first weekend of the league. That's what we love to see.
Let's go.
Which is obviously an improvement from last year, where we started off with several losses and didn't really carry the energy that we needed. So it's good to get on the tally sheet right away. Gotta love that. So I think we did go away to West Ham, played them at Chigwell Construction Stadium. I think everyone expected us to come out with a W, but I think everyone also expected Bunny Shaw to start this match. And based off of her injury against Canada in their first match in Kingston, she is currently out, and we do not know for how long. And we are all just praying that she will be back ready for next.
So what I will say is in the pre-match, there was a pre-match presser, but not a post-match presser. There wasn't even like someone who came up to him on the side of the pitch and was like, "Hey, questions." He said Bunny's problem isn't a big deal, so I would hope she will be back next week. He's really tried to make it. He downplayed it a lot.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's go in. Let's start into this past match. So that was not the only surprise in the starting lineup. I think we all pulled up this team sheet and we saw Kiara Keating in goal and went, what? What? Also, shout out to whoever lays her baby hairs, because they are doing work. They are really doing work over there. So she started in goal. We had on our back line, Laya Alexandri, Alana Kennedy, Alex Greenwood, Layla Wahhabi. I know, Tarek, you had stated that, yes, it's important for Steph Houghton to, be the captain of the club, which I know that she still is, but Alana Kennedy is the better defender, so it was good to see her. This was her first city match since February, so it was good to see her not only start, but play the full 90 minutes. In the midfield, we had Yui, Dana Castellanos, new signing Jill Roard, and then up top we played Mary Fowler on the left, Chloe Kelly on the right, and Lauren Hemp through the center, which I was not expecting really at all. I think that was maybe more of something that, because she had gotten those minutes playing the double striker with England during the World Cup, so maybe that was kind of the reasoning to put her there versus Mary. I'm not really sure, but whatever. That was our starting 11.
So we can get into the. I guess, do you have anything else before we get into the match? Because I like the lineup, but I guess when it started, because you had mentioned the inverted fullbacks and all that would help with facilitate the one-on-ones, and I think that's what he was trying to do, is just get Mary Fowler cooking on the wings, and maybe the plan was that, entire time get her cooking on the wings, then get her inside to throw everything off for everyone, but it really just threw everybody off. Hemp wasn't effective at all. It was a bummer.
Well, so what Crunk was mentioning is that so both Layla Wahhabi and Laya Alexandri basically, like, about every 10, like maybe 5 to 10 minutes would switch who inverted into the midfield. So when Laya Alexandri switched inverted into the midfield, that meant that Mary Fowler was on the left side, isolated with more 1v1 opportunities. When Layla Wahhabi inverted into the midfield, that meant that Chloe Kelly was on the right with more 1v1s. And there was a switch that Layla Wahhabi hit to Chloe Kelly in the first half that was that was oh, this is what we're looking like. You could tell what was going on. It was mwah, mwah.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Unfortunately, with all of that fluidity, you didn't really see a lot of chances for really either squad through the first half. I think that City finally put their first shot on goal in the 40th minute, and that was from Layla Wahhabi outside of the box. So there weren't a lot of chances. As a matter of fact, the best chance of the first half was what ended the first, was the save that Mackenzie Arnold made on Lauren Hemp that ended the half. There wasn't really a lot of chances to speak of in the first half, really. I mean,
What did you think?
mhm.
Sorry to cut in because I left the first half really shocked. West Ham, they're going to come with energy. They came in and they wanted a bang, and there were some ladies who wanted nothing to do with that,
it,
and
it
they seemed visibly uninterested in that.
there did seem to be like kind of a like maybe like we were a step slow, particularly to balls in the box. Like I can think of a couple of examples that Jill Roord like did not necessarily step in the way that you would think that she would. I'm not sure if that's more of a function of like she's used to playing with such a dominant striker. Like she used to play for Wolfsburg, so like they had Alexandra Pop. So like the Alexandra Pop was the person in the box being aggressive. Even for country, like she plays with Vivian Miedema. So like Miedema's going to be the person that's like taking the, like being aggressive in the box, perhaps, just defaulting to that. But like it might have, yes, maybe it might have played out differently if Bunny was in the match, but like Bunny wasn't. And so we kind of needed that person to step up. Now I will say, as they are affectionately known, Trace Chicas were definitely bringing the energy in the first half. Like it was very odd to see Dana doing so much box to box work, but actually being so efficient at it. Like she was defending almost to a detriment to her, like her getting forward, but like you didn't necessarily notice it because it was helping the team so much. So that was an interesting thing to see. But I thought that for the particularly in the first half, Layla Wahhabi and Laya Alexandru were just on it. Like they didn't put a foot wrong defensively. They were giving support in the midfield. They were when they were inverted, they got to the top of the box and started kind of dictating play. I really liked what I saw from them in the first half. So the first half ends 0-0. Come out in the second half. Almost immediately, like in the 45th minute, Ueki like has a chance in on goal that like if Alexandria doesn't like at least like get in the shot with her, it's her versus Keating in on goal. Alexandria did affect the shot. Keating got the stop. We all collectively like caught our breath. So City start building back up. Build up the right-hand side. Laya Alexandria is inverted. She's at the top of the box. She finds Lauren Hemp, who switches to her left foot, raises her head up, takes a shot, and it curls in. Like it, the way that it curled, like I don't even think that Mackenzie Arnold really thought it was going in. Like I think that she thought it was going wide, and that's why she didn't make the move at first. And then when it did curl in, it was just like, whew, that was just so sweet.
And it wasn't even like a postage stamp. It was in there comfortably.
Yes.
I'm not saying that the keeper would have been able to stop it because it was beautifully placed and there was plenty of heat on it. But like you said, it at first glance you're just like, what are you doing? Because especially because the few shots in the beginning of the match fizzed over the goal.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, and so it was beautiful to see that and the energy. That's all I was wanting to see because even it was in a lot of the second balls and the third balls where there'd be like clashing because yes, our passes weren't necessarily connecting, but are you trying to get the ball back? Obviously, there was a plan. I'm just going to get this out of the way because I don't want to forget to say it, and I'm sad Sharpie's not here. This setup I very much enjoyed. Basically, Yui was the lone midfielder. Jill would drop down to help and be like, hey, let's connect, but she would push the ball up. It almost felt like either you were a defender or you were an attacker and you didn't necessarily care about roles. Naturally, you had our center backs, and our center backs did center back things, but Greenwood got up there. It was really cool to see, very much like City, if the Million side. If Pep could have 11 midfielders, he would, and that's kind of what this match felt
Yes.
like. Was Gareth was like, if I could have 11 midfielders,
Well,
I
because
would.
in some ways he kind of did.
Yeah, she was killing it.
So then in the 49th minute, Chloe Kelly gets the ball out wide to the right, puts a cross in, goes right into the defender's arm, handball spot. And you know that Chloe Kelly is going to take the penalty. Like, Bunny's not on the pitch. Like, Chloe's the one that's going to take the penalty. Chloe's taken a lot of, like, clutch penalties in her career. And as the announcer said, it was like, this probably doesn't even make top 5 all most pressure-packed penalty kicks. Chloe Kelly did not take the best penalty, but I will say that Mackenzie Arnold did give a very good save.
Yes.
It was an excellent save by Arnold. Maybe not Chloe Kelly's best effort, but I'm not going to take away Mackenzie Arnold's effort, because like she did really like deflect that out and like kept them out and like kept West Ham in the match. Because she did end up having 6 saves. So 5 minutes after that, Laia Alexandri is lying deep in the midfield and puts this through ball into Jill Roord in the channel that Jill Roord does a slight dummy on and then runs onto, and then just Mackenzie Arnold had no prayer on that shot. That! Back of the net. I did. I like that a lot. Like,
that dummy was crazy.
That dummy, like the through ball from Alexandri and then the dummy onto it. Oh, that was mean. It was so mean. And like
the defenders were
I think that was like one of the few times that, like, I thought that Hawa Sissoko was their best player, outfield player in that particular match. That was the one time that she put a foot wrong on that particular ball. And so then City take the lead. At that point, City pretty much is dominating possession, like at a 70-30 clip. You see the chances are coming, so you're like, yeah, we're going to get more of these. And there were more chances that were created. Mackenzie Arnold did have to make a few more saves. In the 71st minute, Layla Wahabi goes in for a challenge. And I guess because she went in for the challenge and ended up being front-facing, she was called for a red card. And I'm not sure if this was for dangerous play or she kicked out or... I really hope...
I say, did you think she kicked out?
And this is for the ref. Not Tom Bomb. Obviously, Tom Bomb, you're lovely. I had no one knew what was going on because it's just the match was so frozen. And that foul happened. Everybody kind of got it. Well, the West Ham player stayed down, and everyone was standing there. And then all of a sudden, red card. Tarek, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just wondering. He kind of mentioned it, the idea of maybe she kicked out a little bit, because it kind of she went in for the tackle. And again, I didn't see the match in real time. I only saw like the clips after the fact. And so she kind of goes in for the tackle. It looks like the ball's kind of loose, and so then she kind of reaches for it again. I don't know if that extra, while the West Ham player is going for the ball, if that extra leg kind of caught her. I don't know.
Right.
Of course, it wasn't a good video of it, but I just wonder if they thought she kicked out.
And the commentator said it was the 4th official was the one who was urging the call. And that's what really bumps me. Yeah, that's what bumps. At least that's what the commentator said. He was like, it was the 4th official was the one who was urging for the call. And it's like, I understand the 4th official for a yellow, but like, you shouldn't be giving out straight reds off of what the 4th official says.
Especially if it didn't look.
So the
video, look like the refs. It didn't look like Abigail Byrne saw it at all. like the head ref.
The video that I saw looked like the fourth official, because there's usually on the sideline, right? They would have been the opposite side of where the foul took place. So if the center ref, who's right there, doesn't see it, it's kind of hard for me to accept a fourth official on the far sideline, making a call. It's kind of like in basketball. Oh, sorry.
And I'm just saying, particularly because I know that pitch has a slope of some degree, so it would have been even harder for that fourth official to see across the pitch with a slope.
Yeah, it's just, I was going to say, like in basketball, we've been in games or whatever, and you'll say, oh, that was a foul. Why didn't you call it? And the ref will be like, well, that's not my call to make. There's another ref that's positioned in a different way to be able to better see that call. And so if they're right there and they didn't call it, I'm not going to overrule them from the other side of the court. And so it's kind of how I feel in this situation. If they didn't see something that rose to that level of concern for you to kind of be blowing in and yelling and screaming about it, it seems ridiculous to me.
I will say that City acquitted themselves really well in those 20 minutes. They did give up a few chances, a handful of half chances, but nothing that the defense and Kiara Keating were not up to. It was great to see Kiara Keating get a clean sheet. So they effectively killed off the match, a player down. I don't even think that, if I remember correctly, they did not even bring in subs until we didn't even bring in subs until the 83rd minute. Just because,
bringing on.
Hold
on, they are us.
We didn't bring on subs until the 83rd minute. So there was
there
were 10, 12 minutes that we played a player down with just the players that we had on the pitch, which is.
That's a lie.
Oh no, that's a lie. I'm sorry. Kirsten Kasper, I came in 5 minutes later. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
Okay, no, it's because I remember Kasper coming on, and I remember Engeldahl. Did anybody else?
Blackstad came on for Dana.
Blackstad. Yeah. Oh yeah, because can we take a moment? This announcer on FA Player, just butchering Wahhabi, Wahhabi. I thought he was saying Laura Harvey at first. I thought he was talking about a West Ham player that I didn't see on the lineup. I thought maybe that was like a nickname. And then I realized that he was talking about Wahhabi, and I thought maybe she just gave a easy English name that they could say. And then that's finally when my ear was like, no, he's just butchering Wahhabi because of his accent of some sort.
This is why I think it is really important that all football clubs for their social media should let out pronunciation guides of the players saying their names. I think that's just really something really small, but if that's how they say their name, that's how we need to pronounce their name. So all in all, a good 3 points. We will be without Layla Wahhabi against Chelsea, but I do remember the last Chelsea match that Layla Wahhabi played, Lauren James made her life hell. So perhaps this is not the worst thing in the world. So we will go.
So you're saying she pulled a Rodri, and it's like, yep, I'm gonna need a break. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me this break.
Spanish player as well. Spanish player as well.
So yes, next week we do play Chelsea, where we break in. It is no longer called Academy Stadium, but Joy Stadium. First women's football stadium in the UK to have a sponsor. So I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Hold on. Let me clap that up for our ladies. They deserve.
So yes, hopefully Chelsea hopefully we can give Chelsea a fun match. And we hope that you all will join us for that match as we watch along with some of our Chelsea supporter friends, including Nichols Dion.
Yeah, like
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Mark Nichols
Yeah.
is his name.
Mark
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
We are hoping to link up with Shea Butter FC as well. Although I do know that is very early for Sky and Silves. That match is perfect. But at 5:30, it's at 5:30 for me, so that means it's at 4:30 for them. But we are hoping to link up with them, and we hope that you all will join us Sunday. That we will start at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. Please come through and join us.
If you got to, just hit the link while you're laying in bed. Play it on the laptop or the television or however you watch, and trust me, just turn us up, turn the TV down. It's a vibe.
Definitely. And that's maybe Blue Baddies for this
So, before we move off of this, so we know Kiera Keating got the start. Is that a sign of things to come? Is this kind of a one-off? Do we know why? I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. But
no idea. Because I even asked around. I asked a few people that I know who are even City Women insiders, and they had no idea.
Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I love it for her.
Yes,
good for her.
Definitely. Like, so like I just.
And she's great.
Yeah, she's
really was.
Yeah, she had strong control of her box. There were a couple of plays where she definitely demonstrated that. Yeah. And her distribution is nice too. So
very nice.
So yeah, I was like, if that's what is getting her the nod over Ellie Roebuck, maybe that's what's getting her the nod over Ellie Roebuck. I don't know, but I guess we, as somebody pointed out, like I also asked around, and somebody pointed out to me, is like, I guess your manager just said we're gonna be surprised together. It's like, because we were.
She's 19, so young. But I mean, Roebuck's not that old either. Yeah. But still, it's just like, wow, good for her,
right? Having 3 keepers on deck that could start at any moment. That's really a flex.
It really is.
We'll keep it moving to this Caraboa Cup at Newcastle. Okay, so the Caraboa Cup saw Manchester City men travel to take on Newcastle. For any person who was like, I don't know, upset seeing the starting 11, I don't know, upset over seeing the result, trying to make the Carabao Cup loss bigger than it was. Hell, for you losers waiting for anything mallow to happen to City, here's Pep from the pre-match presser. He told you the vibes way before starting 11.
What I said, this competition in this first round, second round is perfect when you have full squad ready. That's perfect. Perfect. Because few players don't play and you can read them. But the situation we have to approach differently and prioritize other things.
Prioritize. You gotta approach differently and prioritize. Like he said, Pep told you the vibes. Setting expectations for the Carabao Cup. Calm. A reporter came to Pep with a receipt mentioning how a few years back Pep said they should get rid of the Carabao Cup. That was in Pep's peak protesting. There was 1 year where he was truly just batting the hatches, trying to create revolution. And he realized it was a fight that he was going to lose. So now he's just it's whatever. He said, I no longer feel that way. Much respect to the Carabao. Just the fact the name changed a few times, it's just how steeped in tradition is it? That's all he's saying. Pep once said, I have claimed from the moment the match happened. The Southampton match. I claim all the time that it was one of the worst losses I have ever seen through in a cup competition, really, period. It was just the way that we were like punked and bullied against Southampton. Like, what?
What we want to try to do is
I was
perform bad,
vindicated.
or perform not who we are in terms of the principles and who we are as a team. Like it happened last season in Southampton, that the worst game I played being manager from Man City, by far.
By far. Starting 11 was Ortega, Gomez, Ake, Bardial, Akanji, Lewis, Kovacic, Phillips, Grealish, Oscar, Bob, and Alvarez. The match as a whole doesn't really need to be discussed like we usually do. Pep said you got to approach differently and prioritize. Last week's games have given us a beautiful opportunity to have these uncomfortable conversations, maybe. Not saying skip past the match, because with any loss, there are plenty of teachable moments. City fans are plenty used to winning, and you tend to not complicate things when you're happy, right? In the happiest of relationships, though, you should be in constant communication with how you feel things are going. City have won the treble, yes. We said the season is about vibes and enjoying yourself. Correct. I believe our show has the ability to be multifaceted, love and adore the club while simultaneously being like, that was weird, right? You can say we're being duplicitous. I'll retort with, spell it, huh? Let's start with Calvin Phillips. People, relax, I'm not going to go in on him. Tarek and I, at the beginning of the season, we forced the conversation. That is, what does Calvin Phillips mean to the squad? Sharpie, at first, he was hesitant. Some might say defensive. But after a couple of weeks, he understood what we meant. I
You
think
can't talk about him. He's not here to defend himself.
keep him listen so he can retort. I'm giving him so much
But then he's gonna
inspiration.
come back angry. He's gonna come back with shots to fire. I don't want an angry Charlie.
Hey, we're gonna have an angry KD when he comes back, and it's gonna be fantastic. I'm willing to do that. Hey, this is me. I'm normally the Rodri, but every now and then I gotta step in my pet bag and be like, hey, I gotta stoke this fire while he's away. This also might be the long-term storytelling wrestling fan in me, where I'm like, hey, even though the person is off screen, we gotta figure out a way to keep them in screen. I know it's all love, Sharpie. I'm not actually like trying to shoot it. It's just jokes. Sharpie was at first hesitant. Some might say defensive, but after a couple of weeks, he understood what we meant. I think Calvin should stay at City, and I'm not trying to send him away at all. I'm not even here to say that he should. I saw decent moments. Rodri's role is nothing similar to Calvin's role. And this is something that Sharpie would say. It's things that Sharpie has said. Comparing the two only creates infinite possibilities for you to shit on the player. Sure, you don't think you're getting closer to understanding Calvin's position in the squad. Before Newcastle's game, Pep was asked if Calvin was watching tape of Rodri, trying to become a closer version to Rodri than previous.
No, he has to see Calvin Phillips, but of course, being outside, sitting and see the players, and when we are looking for in the training session, in the meetings, and seeing that helps a lot too. But every player has his own specific. We bought or bring Calvin here for his quality. So there are no twins in football. It's every player has his own personality and quality.
Yeah, man. Appreciate who he is for who he is. Stop comparing players. Comparison is the thief of joy. I keep saying this, and I'm going to probably just have to keep saying this. Hating on all the things Calvin does that Rodri doesn't, it keeps you from watching Calvin grow into his position. He needs to learn how to play Manchester City football in his way. To be honest, I think Pep was asking him to be a baby Rodri at first. Calvin wasn't terrible in this match, and there were plenty of chances missed from our attackers. I will get into it once we get into the match. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but we saw Kova and Nunes against Wolves. That didn't look much more secure than Phillips back there. Same can be said with Daku and Grealish, comparing them. Yes, they're both wingers that can play on the left. The roles when on the pitch are two different things. Critiques for Grealish can be valid without a side-by-side comparison chart. Stats can say many things, especially if you know how to wield them. Let's take a step back. I'm going to calm down. I need to get you guys in here to talk. I've just been kind of ranting. I've been very annoyed watching people. especially with us losing. That put me in a particularly annoying mood. Maybe this match, I don't know. Were there any positives you took from the Carabao Cup? Was one of them Phillips, or did you see the match as a nothing burger, a nada taco? Tama?
Oscar Bob is fun to watch. That was my biggest takeaway. It was like, oh, you nice with it. Okay, I love this. That was my biggest takeaway. Yeah, it does suck to lose this early in a cup competition, but it also like sucks to like literally be drawn with a Champions League side in a cup competition in the first round that your club is eligible for it. Like that's crazy. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna cry too much about this because I think we do have bigger fish to fry, um, and larger problems to address. Um, I don't think that Calvin Phillips was necessarily one of them in this particular match. So I don't know. Yeah, it does suck. You would hope that we would be more clinical on frame without Erling Haaland in the match, but we're a side that's going to have the ball a lot, so that means that we're probably going to shoot a lot and put a lot of shots on. Put on a lot of shots, and maybe some of them don't always go in, and so we're going to have to be a volume scorer.
Going into the match, we should have all already known what to expect, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with Tom. Losing never feels good. I don't ever want to get just comfortable losing, right? So yeah, I was disappointed to lose, but only from the standpoint of, dang, I don't like this feeling. We don't feel it very often. I don't like it. But I came into it kind of expecting that it doesn't matter, because again, our priorities are someplace else. We know that there's going to be a conflict with, I believe, the scheduling of these matches as we go into future rounds, right? With the Club World Cup. We're going to have to split the squad. So there was already conflicts and constraints. I just, I don't like to be the person that, kills the competition, because when we were winning it, I was cool with it, right? It's the first competition of the season. You want to win it. But at the same hand, it's this season, not the competition as a whole, but this season, it's the I don't really care about cup. I don't care about this cup, right? Forget the care about. It's the I don't care about cup.
Carabao Cup. Oh my god! So title.
So I mean, it is what it is, and
Boom.
we move on to fight another day. Again, losing sucks, but again, we knew what it was
Our
going
vibe.
into it. No shocks after.
We feel confident in our vibe of our fans.
Oh my gosh, Ted, our vibes are on like 100 million trillion right now.
I don't care about Cup. God damn. That is excellent.
Just this season. I mean, next season we'll try to win it again, maybe, depending on where we are.
And that's legitimately what Pep said. He was like, look, this is the season, man. You gotta prioritize. It is what it is. It's vibes. And even at the end of the match, he was just like, yo, we still got the Club World Cup, we got the FA. Vibes are good. Do you think this is a problem? In fact, because that's what people are trying to do. You have to try to take your shots at City where you can get them. And one of the ones is City's not going to be able to get the quadruple.
Oh, yeah.
I was asked about that.
Do you think the target was to win the quadruple? Honestly. It's not.
And you should have saw how annoyed that pause. The way that pause sounded, his face looked. He was just like, bro, relax. It's not a big deal.
We have the sound clip in the intro where the man literally says, "Don't ask me no more about doubles, trebles, quadruples, five troubles, six troubles, seven troubles." He said, "Don't ask him that no more."
We try to tell people, but they don't listen. It's literally before we talk, Pep tells you the vibes. It's frustrating. It really is. It was a good match, and even in the post match, Pep's like, "No, Calhoun's good. People were good. We just weren't able to take advantage of good moments. First and foremost, shout out to Newcastle. They're great. What they're doing is great. Newcastle. Let's talk about Newcastle." And they kept being like, "You."
Well, I mean, if we are going to talk about Newcastle, I really do think that the match did turn when they did bring on their subs. Like once Anthony Gordon came on for them, like it was a totally different match for us, and like we kind of like, and you could tell that that's when like that first 10 minutes we felt overwhelmed, and that's when they scored that goal. But yeah, like it was pretty apparent that bringing on Guy Merritt or Bruno and Anthony Gordon like really flipped the match for Newcastle in their favor, and like we never recovered, no matter how many subs we made to like get more attacking.
Yeah, I don't know. We all said how we feel about this. I mean, was there anything? Was there any last bits of this match before we keep it moving? I guess. No. Cool. Moving on. Going along. So fun. Before we even get into this match, I have to play this clip. Vincent Company sticking his neck in business he will never have to bother at, being the manager of Burnley. So that's the first thing that annoyed me. He said that teams in the top flight need a cap on appearances to protect players. I understand all of that stuff. Manchester City, Arsenal, etc. That would make it easier for Clownhouse FC to do better. I don't know. It just company.
Yeah, I would say that every idea that you reduce a little bit the amount of games for the players, especially, would be nice. But there's not going to be change. There is only one solution to change something, but maybe all the players think about that, all the money think about that. Is the players decide for themselves. The organization said, stop. We have to change something. And after FIFA, UEFA, and all the statements, they will maybe react a little bit. Because this business, the show must go on. Without Pep, must keep going. But without the players, the show will not go on. That's for sure. So it depends on them.
It depends on them. Pep, the greatest manager in football, just told the players to strike.
Pep so union. Pep said power to the workers. He's not wrong. Like nothing is going to change without the players saying that this should be changed. But I don't know if necessarily all of the ancillary things around footballers are going to allow them to say like, hey, y'all should like have a cap on the number of matches played or minutes played or what have you. Yeah, like I mean, but you see with all of like, especially like you see more international competitions like I think almost every confederation now has like a League of Nations or whatever that they all play for or something of that nature. They already all had their continental tournament. They were already all trying to qualify for the World Cup. And then they're playing all of these matches professionally for club. So that's just a lot on these players. And in some instances, some of these players really haven't had a break since quarantine. at the beginning of 2020. And that's not like, yes, you're a professional football player, and yes, you're a professional athlete, all of that, but like the human body is not designed to go through all of that. So maybe we should be doing a better job of taking care of like professional athletes who are supposed to be at, you know, if that's the way that they make money, like they need to be able to invest in their bodies more, including rest.
And I like the idea of it. Like, so let's say we do this. There's a standard. All players can only play this many minutes club and this many minutes national team. That could make it even more like a chess. Say it's the end of the season, you're a struggling team, City, they these certain players can only play these many minutes. So we were like, okay, let's hold our star out to the second half because we know Rodri can only play 45 minutes left in this last match. Like statistically, average wise, he can only play this. So he's only going to play the first or the second. Teams could maneuver and things like that. Obviously, this is chaos. It's ridiculous. The players just need to strike. Too much going on. Lower tiers, they can't afford it. It's purposely set for this to not happen. I mean, I just love the fact that Pep was saying this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think the sentiment is right. I think it's, we got to protect the people who play the game, not the ones who make all the money off the game. I don't know that anything like this ever really happens as far as a quote unquote, to use a phrase, a players go out on strike. I don't know if that actually will ever happen. But because I don't even know how like they're unionized over in Europe. I don't know how that works. Like so they don't really have any. How would they organize and do all of that? So that part,
footballers to do this,
yeah, that part seems unlikely to actually happen
at all.
But it's probably what needs to happen for the good of the game and more importantly for the good of the players who play the game and the ones who we all love to watch and see and all that good stuff. So, I just think good luck trying to actually pull that off. But they need to figure out something. And there's that you talked about. Oh well, what happens if we, just the potential City holding Rodri out because he's got to play this or he's got to minutes with the national team or whatever. There's always the, I guess the I don't want to say competition, but there's a battle to a certain extent between club versus country and who's gonna, are you gonna let him play? Which one is more important? All of those things. And so I think you just compound that if you ever get to that place because a club could just say, I'm just gonna play my player all the minutes I want to play them, and then they're never available for their national team, so on and so forth. So it's just interesting that battle, for lack of a better word, would be increased. So
I'm just shocked there hasn't been maybe just like a powerful lawyer, I don't even know what you call those, the legal team that hasn't just been like, think of the money that we can make by literally suing the world of football. I don't know. Like, also, you're going against the world of football. I mean, you think Jiki has a lot of lawyers. Come on now. So, like you said, there's just a lot going on that would make it practically impossible. Starting 11 was Ederson, Ake, Diaz, Walker, Kovacic, Nunes, Daku, Alvarez, Foden, and Juan. I saw what Pep was wanting to do with this lineup, and I loved it. I thought City were walking into the Molineux to feast on some wolves. Oh, I was wrong. I'll go somewhat traditional in this match, somewhat, since it was a loss. I guess, again, did you find anything positive in this match?
Yeah, Julian Alvarez placed a free kick that was so dope. It was, I mean, just yeah. So I took that away.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot else other than that. I didn't feel we played well. So first of all, again, like I said, I didn't expect a win in the Newcastle match. I didn't think we cared enough. I expected a win in this match. So yes, I was again disappointed to lose, and expected more out of our players. I just felt like collectively we weren't where we needed to be in the match. We didn't bring the intensity, and I felt like, and I know you're going to get into the lineup and all that stuff, but I just felt like we got bullied to a certain extent. They were much more aggressive in their press. They were winning the ball back, and I felt like I don't know if it's just because Rodri wasn't there and he's the outlet for people, but I felt like we were almost kind of like playing hot potato with the ball. No, you take it, you take it. Nobody wanted to be responsible for getting the ball and keeping it. And so that was disappointing to see. So yeah, I can take away the free kick and I'll leave the rest.
I love that. Well, and truly, I really don't have much notes when it came to this match. I even watched it again, and I was just like, why am I taking notes? This really is. It's just misplaced passes, the chances we had, we weren't able really to get some good saves on there, and I was just getting bullied. I totally thought we were going to come in. We on paper were the bigger size, bigger team. I thought we were going to just handle things, and Wolves, I guess, were tired of getting knocked around this season. They were tired of it. And I know this is City's thing. We're always having to face the best of each team, and even with our subs, players are going to have to step up. I don't know. It just bummed me out. I've used the term "bummed me out" a lot, but this entire week has bummed me out. It was, and again, like you said, we don't lose a lot, so this just emotions I personally need to learn how to manage.
But what I will say is, we know that City is typically not at their best at the beginning of a season.
Yes,
they play themselves into, I won't say into shape, but into being City. We play our way into that, and at the tail end of the season, we destroy everyone in our path. We kind of took for granted, because we were 6-0, that we're starting straight from off the jump. Maybe, but maybe we just happen to get the results this year in those early matches, but yet and still we're still trying to play our way into who we will eventually be. And so it is disappointing to lose, like always, but it's still very, very, very early in the season, and we are not today, nor were we on Saturday when we lost that match, who we will be when we get to, we really get into full City mode, and you start to see the best. And then again, everybody has players missing, injuries and all that, but you got to think, we got John Stones coming back, we got my man, I just completely drew a blank. We have KDB. Wow, I'm tripping. We got KDB coming back. These are world-class players that we just don't have at our disposal right now. And they'll be back, and then we'll be back on our grind. So it's all good.
Very unfortunate. No, it's patient. I was gonna play the Office clip of Steve Carell's character, because I've actually never watched The Office. I watched like 3 episodes, and I was like, I'm not doing this. This is why I literally quit every office job I ever worked at, was this specific show. So I can't do it. But the clip of him saying, calm down, like, truly, that is just what we need to do. It's a long season. We have to lose eventually to people, but truly, like you said, Derek, I we came into this saying it's all vibes and everything. We just maybe got a little too high on the vibes. But when the loss was happening, I wasn't in meltdown mode or anything like that. I
Yeah,
wasn't upset or anything like that.
I don't even think it's us, meaning Shades of Blue, the
Yes,
four of us. I think just city
royally.
fandom.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like you know what? Some of these people I question, and
Bro.
again, I don't want to be, gatekeeper for city fandom or
But
supportership,
sometimes I get it.
but man, I'm like, are you really truly a fan? Are you really a supporter of City, or are you just somebody who got a Twitter account and put City something or other in it, but then you want to just talk trash? It's like you can't really be a City fan and say what you're saying. I just don't make so. I would hope that as a set of fans that we're better than what I see on Twitter. Some stuff just doesn't even. I just keep on moving. I don't even acknowledge it because it's so far off the pale. It's just like only person that would say some of this stuff is people who are looking for clicks and in tweets and likes and whatever else. You're doing it for the engagement, which I get to a certain extent, but I would never go to that extreme with it. It's just crazy for me.
Yeah, and you said uh, people who are doing it for engagement, and I don't understand how people could do it, is because they don't hide their face, and you hope that we aren't to their levels. We obviously aren't because we're willing to put our faces behind it. And there are so many accounts that try to troll our X page. And I'm like, bro, just flip through our stuff. You see our faces all through it. We aren't hiding like you talking crap and not making any sense. Like, we are about what we actually say. We're about it. We're not any of these fake things that you think that you're saying and gunning us on. And if you don't understand that, I can just block you. But if not, give me our respect and then I'll block you. That's basically what I've been doing. I've learned how to flip trolls where not after about 2 or 3 reports, they're like, whoa, okay, respect, guys, respect. And I'm like, fuck you, guy, and block them. like,
Oh no, you're
now
still
that
getting blocked. You still getting blocked.
yeah, I'm still getting blocked, but now, yeah,
set
I'm
the
now
record
on
straight.
top. Yeah, I flipped it. At the beginning, I was just reporting back to people, and I was just like, ah. And now it's just, I'm just smiling. I'm just giggling with myself and Twitter going back and forth with the stuff. It's a vibe. It's a good time. It's damn Elon, you really ruined it. They're like the numbers. They're like even small things like Man City, the tweet numbers that they were doing, even after the treble. And obviously, the numbers won't ever be that big. But even after, I feel like some of the tweets that they have now, they're not doing the same level of retweets and things like that. He's just ran so many people off the app. It's crazy. I'm just seeing it in random things. I'm like, even attractive girls who normally get thousands and thousands of likes on their photos are getting significantly less. It's like, oh, it's just hard out here for everybody. Oh.
I don't know if you said something to me. I'm frozen up a little bit.
Oh, my Wi-Fi is struggling, bro.
You there?
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Eventually, it's my Wi-Fi. Uh, the power pole next to my window, it's truly like maybe 30 feet away, exploded the other day.
Oh wow.
And we lost power for a few hours. I had my window open. My ear was legitimately ringing for a few seconds. It was very loud. And ever since then, my internet has been shit. It buzzed. It went out again this morning, and people came in. They really fixed it, but my internet still has not bounced back. And I don't know what to do because this is my office. And it's just like I've never had these problems.
Oh, that's crazy.
Anywho, let's get to some Shaka and Premier League applause. Or not? Wink, wink, Wink. Since you don't want to play, I'm just gonna let it load, so it's just gonna randomly play when we're talking. Tottenham is in first. Or sorry, whoa, see, I'm all thrown off. You damn set. Sorry, let's try this again. I'm gonna cut that part out. Manchester City are first, Tottenham are second, Arsenal in third, Liverpool are fourth, Aston Villa's fifth, Brighton sixth, and West Ham are in seventh. Uh, the team sitting in relegation station, it really hasn't changed. Um, it is what it is with them. What was a lot of craziness honestly happened this weekend in its own little bits, lots of cards flying. What stuck out to you? Who do you want to give your shock, awe, or applause to?
Like you said, there's quite a couple results that you're like, oh, um, of course, Luton Town getting their first victory over Everton, who I told y'all was going to go down. Y'all got to just listen to me. They're not in the relegation zone yet, but they will be before it's all said and done. But for me, I'm gonna go with Tottenham. 2-1 victory over Liverpool in quote unquote controversial fashion. But I love it. I love the fact that they're forcing a emotional and mental breakdown on Merseyside. All Liverpool fans everywhere are losing their minds, and I'm here for it. So thank you, Tottenham, for just the chaos that you are causing. And to be fair, they brought in Postacoglu. Dude was like the 55th choice of in the coaching ranks that they were looking for. But he's been playing well. He's got them playing well. And this is a team that lost Harry Kane, who world class striker. So I don't know if it'll continue, if they'll revert to being Spurs because they're still Spurs. So if they'll revert back to form or not, but for now, thank you for just doing one to Liverpool. Appreciate it.
I love it. And I want to give applause and simultaneously say that I'm shocked but also pleased and want to applaud that shot. So applause, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. Y'all did y'all thing. Aston Villa beating down Brighton. Wow, Brighton, what's going on? Y'all are looking shaky. This big moves, big ideas, things need to happen. I'm not saying the rest of your season is in the next month because a lot can change, but mentally and honestly, the foundation of what Brighton is and does and how they move is coming into question right now. People might not be saying it. Obviously, fans in Brighton, they need to stay positive. But the whole thing about, and I've been preaching this for a while, how long can you keep just bringing in young phenoms and pushing them out for money? Is that just what you want to do? Sure, you can do that, but also, can you stay at the top 8 by doing that? It feels like Wolves. Wolves, they weren't doing the flipping the players at the same level of Brighton. I don't think that was their plan. Their plan from the jump was maybe get a little bit of money from some of these young players, bring in these young Portuguese players and stuff like that, and do some work. A couple of wrong plays, also one of your main stars having a terrible brain injury and having to stop playing football, that messes things up also. It's just a couple of bad things can really trouble what you're doing and building, and I am just very worried about Brighton because I want to cheer for them.
Yeah, see, I don't know if 6-1 feels an anomaly to me. It doesn't feel like that's a fair. I mean, it's probably a fair reflection of that match, but I don't think it's a fair reflection of what we will see out of Brighton the rest of the season. I'm interested to see if they can really get Ansu Fati really going. I know he scored the goal in this match, I'm pretty sure, but I just want to see if they can get him back to anywhere close to his close to his real level, because he was dope for Barcelona
Yes.
back a couple years ago. So
Mhm.
if he gets anywhere back close to that, then again that just gives them another option to. I don't know if he's probably there on loan at this point.
Yeah,
Probably.
just on loan.
Okay.
There's no even requirement to buy him. They don't want to talk. The intent, well, that's at least what you're seeing on social media, is the intent to then sell Fati, but they don't want to put a price on it now because depending on how
It's
well he
gonna
does,
go
it could
up.
go up. Yes. Yeah. And I'm not saying this one match is Brighton's the end of Brighton, but they haven't had the best start. It's been inconsistent. They didn't have the best start to European football. Back to back home, or maybe it was on the road. I don't know. But just back to back losses in a week. Just how do you bounce back to this? You're already doing more than you were with the European football and everything. The expectations, the bright lights, it's all on you. How do you bounce back after 2 losses in a row? That's all I'm saying. Because depending on how you handle that, that's a small ripple that can become a giant wave. Well, I mean, other than that, I would give shout out on the WSL Liverpool women for the game against Arsenal women. For one, shout out to everybody packing up the Emirates, breaking another attendance record for them. But shout out to Liverpool getting that one goal, sneaking a win, shaking everyone in Arsenal. It really puts some good pressure on the City Chelsea match. United women squeaked away a win. Also, I don't know. I'm feeling really good about the City women. It's gonna be a fun season. I definitely think until the men get healthy, the women are gonna get 80, 70, let's say 70%. 70% of my attention. They get most of it on social media anyway. Kirsten Kasparov just got a cat. She named it Kiwi. Is great. The way that she decided the name was she put an avocado, a kiwi, and a pear on the floor, and whatever the cat went and smelled, that was the name of the cat. It chose kiwi.
Interesting.
This is what 2 losses by the men in a row does to my City fandom on social media. That's how it adjusts.
I understand. It's tough out here in these streets, man. If I don't, look, you got any? It's like a fiend. You got any more of them City victories? I done ran out. Look, I need another hit. Come on with it.
Please, man. I'm starting to itch.
Hey, but on a serious note, when we talk about applause, I think we should recognize Franny Lee, who passed away, former City striker. Of course, being in the U.S., not coming to City fandom until 2013. I never saw him play, but I know what he means to the club. I think they said he won 6 trophies with Man City. So just want to acknowledge and show our respect to him, and kind of celebrate what he meant to the club, and condolences to his family and all those affected by his loss. I think he had a long bout with cancer, I think. So
time for Saturday, or what Saturday? Oh, Wednesday. Oh yeah, it's not even playing now. Thing. The champions. Red Bull, Rossbull.
Can we get a strike if you sing it? If it's too close, a media strike that YouTube tries to put on us. If you sing the Champions League anthem,
it's well, and it's funny because the problem is we can't monetize. But we still need like 322 followers and still like 500 more hours. So it's like demonetize all this stuff. I'll play whatever songs I want. Let's just play a whole Taylor Swift song and you're there, right? They'd take the whole episode down. They'd be like, nope, you don't own this episode anymore. But I'm not caring about monetizing. It's kind of fun. I just play whatever. How do you see this Red Bull, Ross Bull? How do you see this match going? How optimistic are
Well,
you? I mean, it is a must win, especially after the first match.
yeah. Normally I would say I'm very confident 3-4 nil, something like that. But based on what we've seen recently, recent form, recent showings don't suggest another blowout. I think we will have to come in and we will have to earn uh, this victory. I think we get it done, but it's probably a 1 goal, maybe 2 goal difference between us and Red Bull. Um, and we just got to get back to our free flowing best. We're not there at the moment, and so we just got to get back there. What about you?
Yeah. And I forgot to say, Tom Bomb. His shock was Chelsea scoring 2 goals. Like, he was just, I mean, for good reason. Yeah, I was very shocked they scored 2 goals, considering they really haven't done it for a very long time.
And the fact that Mudryk scored one of them.
Man, it was a good goal. I will give him that. You could tell that Mudryk has the talent. He was just doing too much. He needed to slow down. I don't think he has slowed down. I think he just kept his pace and has just been tweaking things. So he's still doing all this like crazy touches and all these shots and stuff. They're just starting to work. Almost the Darwin Nunez thing, where last
That's exactly
season,
what I was gonna say.
yeah, he struggled and he was just like, no, I'm going to keep playing the way that I play and things will finally click. And things seem to be finally clicking for him. Which really, again, makes me very optimistic about Calvin Phillips. Like, I don't know. You just got to be patient. Uh, so, shocked to Chelsea scoring 2 goals. Running with the 2 goals against Leipzig, a 2-2 draw. That's what Tom Baum says. I can't do it. I can't. I was going to say I feel a draw. I think we're going to squeak a win. It could be like a 2-1 win. Somehow, some way, we start that upward trajectory and we go back to W's, baby. It's happening. And then
Yeah,
Tom Baum.
I think. Oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say for me, I'd probably go 2-1
Mm,
with us winning 2-1. Yeah. I don't know who will get the goal for them, but I'm gonna go 2-1.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I like it. I like it 2-1. I mean, like I said, this whole season's about vibes. Relax. Let's enjoy ourselves. Have fun. Doesn't mean the matches aren't going to be stressful. Doesn't mean we're not going to have some anxiety. But try not to be so critical. We have a lot of people getting much more responsibility. A lot of people like Phil. He's probably been for years being like, Pep, I'm ready. Pep, I'm ready. Pep, I'm ready. We're finding out. Are you ready this season? For real, for real.
I think Doku's gonna score on in this match.
Yeah. I mean, I
I got
need
a
it.
feeling.
He, he so when he scored the first time and he did a celly, you could see that he did two. He started doing the gritty, but it was like a adjusted gritty, and then went back to the traditional gritty. And he, when he was interviewed after the match, he said he forgot what he was doing. He forgot his celly. He just was so excited in the moment. I Do you think he's going to do the gritty again? Does he have a different celly ready, or does he just go to the classic? Like, what do you think he's going to do if he scores again? I don't know. This is exciting.
Uh, well, I've seen him do the gritty. I think he sticks with it. I think he likes that. Now, at some point, I think everyone will move away from that at some point.
Yes.
But I think for now, he'll probably break it out again.
Well, because what was it? There was the video of who was it? Who was it doing the gritty behind him? It was someone unexpected during a practice. It was like John Stones or somebody was on the training pitch tried to hit the gritty real quick. It was amazing, and I was like, can you imagine all these random just like Manx now trying to do the gritty because they saw him doing that, like, I love that. I
No,
really
I
do.
want to see Rodri do the gritty. That's what I want to see.
Please, that's the content we need. Tom Baum, Tom Baum said that he thinks it's going to be pulled away. Another draw. This time a 1-1. I honestly agree. I think Pep will be glad to take a 1-1 draw. If he gets a 1-1 draw, a win is preferred. But if we can eke out a 1-1 draw, that is best case, worst case scenario.
Yeah. So I saw the video. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
God dang it! This. So I'm looking at this video of the training. It was Rodri who hit the gritty, and it was just as bad as I would have expected.
Yes.
It was just as bad as I would have expected. It's like he can't even get his body to do that.
So great.
And I'm old. I can't do it either. So I'm not knocking him because I'm old. I ain't doing that either. But that's for y'all young folks. But no, it was just as bad as I expected. It's like that's just not even. This is a man who tucks his shirt in. He's too straight laced for that.
He's basically just like tippy-toeing and then moving his arms around.
Yeah, it was just as bad as I thought.
Oh, that's great. Oh man. All right. Well, anything else before we get out of here?
Are we going to talk about Arsenal? Or are we leaving that for now? Sunday, or was it Saturday? Sunday's match, whatever day we play them.
Yeah. The future shows for the week and everything. We got our Thursday night live stream. We have 3 amazing guests. I know I say this for every single week, but that is because there are so many most dope people out there pushing football, supporting football, doing their things to contribute to the footballing world. This week, we got the homie Lando, most dope person. That's going to be a great time. Then we got Kyle Carr. Oh my gosh. Madison Flamingos, stand up. Winner of the Henny Derby, stand up. He is also a Liverpool fan. So I wanted to give him some positives before I gave the tragic news. And our third and final guest is, whoa, my brain just blanked. Boom, boom. Oh, okay. And then our third and final guest is the homie Trevor Tracy. So I met him doing Shea Butter FC's Women's World Cup live streams. He writes for Angel City FC, does a lot of work with them. Most dope person, going to be able to talk some Woso this week on our live stream. Oh, please hop in. Like Tom Baum said at the earlier in the episode, we got the live watch along for City Women versus Chelsea. We're going to start a half hour before the match. For Arsenal, our FanFest Live kickoff show an hour before that. Follow our social media accounts on the app formerly known as Twitter. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, etc. Links to all those things are in our episode details. There's a link tree. You just tap it, and it has all the stuff. It's like 10 links. Ready to go. Hit subscribe, hit subscribe, hit subscribe. It's so easy for you. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let us know how you're enjoying things. If you're listening, you prefer audio only, rate, review the episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, however you enjoy it. 5 stars, or what's the point? Tarek, please let listeners know how to reach out to you if you want that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm usually, I mean, I still check Twitter, so it's fine. Just hit me there at Tarek Peterson, TarikPeterson at Tarek Peterson on Twitter.
And I am Chrome Phoenix on Twitter. Crunk chocolate on everything else. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang. The I don't care about cup.